most ultra-hard Bdud5. The floor is yours.
Yo, hello everyone. I'm Bdud5. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited. I am so happy to show Horizon. It's been 3 years that I've been running this game, and it's a dream to be here, so really excited. I have world record in this category that I'm about to show you. So you're going to get the best Horizon experience today. On the couch with me, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm actualuse, or Alice. I also run this game.
And I'm Sen. I'm a Ratchet & Clank speedrunner, but I have played the first game casually and part of the second game.
All right. So let's get right into this. So before we start New Game Plus right here, I'm going to go a little bit over some key loadout things. So the main highlight weapon that we use in this run is this Sharp Shot bow that we have upgraded all the way. And it uses these elite crit hits. We're going to rely on crit RNG a lot in this. Luckily, it's 80%. So every 4 out of 5 shots, we should be able to get a crit. But that paired with other things like low health damage is what's going to really help us get through this run. But yeah, let's do it. Let's select Ultra Hard. So a little bit about Ultra Hard is about 9 times harder than Story. And you know, the strats will change a little bit because you really need to get all that extra damage output since they have so much extra health. But yeah, we'll go into it. We can skip the tutorial. And yeah, get ready to start time here when I skip this third cutscene. Give it a second here to load. First cutscene. Second cutscene. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go! All right, and we're off, and we start with a nice little cable car ride. So this is gonna be about 1.5 minutes, and it gives us a good opportunity to just explain the whole game. So Horizon, we love Horizon. It's lore-filled. The sequel here, it has so many revamped movement and systems in terms of combat and weapons. Main thing here for just the story starting off is that we're looking for leads on reviving this AI god called Gaia because the planet is dying and we need an AI to help rebuild kind of like the ecosystems to keep it alive. So we're gonna go to the Forbidden West to follow those leads. But the last border checkpoint, the Daunt, is locked off because of a bristleback attack. So to start off, we're going to be going through, clearing out the bristlebacks to kind of show you what kind of weapons that we have to deal with here in the run. There's going to be a lot of things here, like sliding tech that I'll introduce in a second here. And yeah, anything you want to add real fast?
Yeah, just a little bit more about the ultra-hard difficulty. Like Bdud said, all machines have about 9 times more health than they do in Story, about 3 times more than in normal. There's some other things that go with it. Enemies alert more quickly. We use weapon stamina a lot for weapon techniques, and if you take any damage, you'll lose stamina, which is a problem in a lot of fights. And you don't have aim assist available to you, which
makes it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really puts ultra hard to the name here. So yeah, we gotta be really precise. If we mess up and we lose a lot of stamina or like we don't hit the precise points on machines, we could be spending like 20, 30 seconds trying to clean up a strat and rebound from it. Sometimes we can just do like a few extra shots, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of precision here to pull everything off.
Yeah, because a lot of the ammo that we have to use is pretty expensive to craft because we do have to do a lot of damage. We do have stamina potions to rebuild our stamina, but of course, you can only carry so many. And some of our most important resources, we get this stupidly low amount that we can carry with us at one time. We can visit our stash, but that, of course, takes time.
So right here, we're going to get one of our MVPs of the run. Steve is what I like to call it.
Yep.
Steve here is the charger that We are going to go to this first fight here. Only spawned 2 of them, which is good, but we gotta wait on dialogue, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, there is a little third one there, my bad. So here we go. We need to get our charger over here and put it in a position so we can get it after the checkpoint spawns here. But essentially killing those machines there. We're looking for a checkpoint in the bottom right, loading icon. I think I missed it, actually.
Yeah, so fortunately with that, even if the fight is a little scuffed, you have some time waiting for the dialogue to play out before you get the save screen. Unfortunately, Bdud was on Steve on the mount when the save happened, so he reloaded on him again, but it's all fine.
Yep, it's all good. So now we're going to our second fight here. We're going to be able to show off the propelled spike of the spike thrower here, which we're trying to kill multiple enemies here, kind of like kill 2 birds with 1 stone sort of deal with the explosive damage. So we're going to use the glider, which we get early in New Game Plus here. Only got 1 guy there, but I'm going to do a follow-up right there. And drink this real fast and dodge. All right, there we go. Sometimes you can get really good RNG right there and have them all lined up next to each other, but that's the average kind of expectation of that fight is to throw 2 propelled spikes and then finish off that other scrounger. So right now, while we're waiting on Aaron, I'm gonna go into low health. And low health is essentially something where we can get an 80% damage boost by being in it. So we're gonna be trying to use a bomb to set us to low health a lot in this run. Yes.
Just flipping through dialogue. Fortunately, with this, you can sort of preset your dialogue selection so we know it's fastest. The other trick with dialogue is, as we're skipping, we're mashing X, which is also the jump button. And we try not to do that. Try not to jump at the very end of dialogue, which is tricky sometimes because we can't fast travel when we're falling. And if you're jumping, clearly you're falling.
Okay, so we have a fight here. We're gonna try and shoot this, so we insta-kill that bristleback right there, and then we're gonna throw 2 propelled spikes here. We lose stamina after 2 propelled spikes, so we're gonna drink a stamina potion and then try to get both of these guys at once. Didn't, so I'm gonna do a backup here. Boom, good. Call mount so I can line it up. That fight can be a little precise, so I'm glad that went well.
And you'll see him doing this a lot, lining up the mount. Right after we finish dialogue or right after we leave a location a lot of times, Aloy will start talking, as a plot device to say what has happened and what we're gonna do now. And when she's talking, we can't call them out. So we'll, with Steve, just put him in place, and with later mounts, we'll do some other manipulation to put them in a good spot for us.
We have our first moment where there's not much going on, so if we have any donations right now, we can go ahead and go forward with those.
I have absolutely lost count of the sheer amount of donations that are coming in with love for this run. I guess let's pick one at random, eyes closed. Here we go. Buy at $50 here from Corvallis Wolf that said, "This is one of my absolutely favorite games. I am so excited to watch this with my wife. Thank you so much for that generosity." Next one on the list, $50 again from Greedy Old Ka that said, "Is that a speed run of some sort? Not a bad idea. Bdud, everyone here in the Horizon community is pulling for you. Thank you for showcasing what Aloy can do. There's no one better to finally run this game at GDQ. No whammies."
Thank you so much, Greedy. Greedy's big community member, so much love, thank you.
Time for a few more?
Yes.
Alrighty, here's $25 from Harlequin that said, "Make Horizon harder and maybe get one of 4 fantastic prizes." That's a donation that's worthy of the 10. That is right, we have a bunch of fantastic prizes open right now, including a few that are specifically Horizon related, including the Future is on the Focus framed art, the Forbidden West soundtrack vinyl, and even the Horizon Deathbringer beanie. You can check out our prizes at gamesdonequick.com/prizes. Consider how much you want to put in your donation, and you're eligible for all of those depending on that amount. round. $25 gets you entered for all 3 of those. And when you're doing it, double check on our incentives that are currently open, like the All Relic Ruins run that is now $10,848 of the $15,000 needed to unlock. We got to do that by 1 hour and 40 into the run. And Bdud, you're very excited for that, correct?
I am extremely excited for that. I have been putting in a lot of practice for it and have a few strat optimizations, and I have a pretty good feeling it'll go extremely well. World record pace level, perhaps. So we're doing a little skip here. It's like Lawan skip, where we're going to be able to. There's an invisible wall around here, but we can basically prop ourselves up there and glide around, and I executed that perfectly. Thank you. But we're going to head into the embassy here. So the embassy, now that we've cleared out all the bristlebacks and machines, we go into the embassy where they're having discussions between all the major tribes. But there's going to be a problem where there's going to be an ambush happening up here. So we got to prepare for a 3-phase fight here. Alice, do you want to explain a little bit of that fight?
Yeah, so the fight goes pretty quickly on New Game Plus. The first phase, you have a bunch of chargers with riders, and you have to kill 6 of anything, which we'll do here with 1 propelled spike. Phase 2 is going to be 2 bristlebacks with riders, and we have to kill both of those. Of course, surviving chargers with riders will be trying to kill us. And then the third phase, we have Greta.
Oh, that was perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect embassy.
Yeah. We have to kill him, and then we are done. And this is normally when you would get the shield wing in a new game run, but of course with New Game Plus we got to keep it.
All right, and now we have the whole open world here of the Forbidden West open to us. We're going to be going to the next quest, the Death's Door. There is something that we can utilize here, which can be glitchy, but we're going to use a fast travel point. I'm going to focus here for a second to try to get it instantly.
Yeah. So this game has...
Didn't work.
No.
There we go, got a second try. That can be very glitchy, so.
Yeah.
Sometimes we lose like 30 seconds to it, sometimes we get it instantly. I'm really happy that happened only second try.
Yeah, this game has this rumor system, and Lawan telling you that tall neck exists opens up a fast travel point. We think it might be glitchy because normally with that you have to restart from save or fast travel someplace else for it to work, but in this case it is just permanently there and permanently glitchy.
Yeah. We do what we can with it, though.
Yeah.
We can read 1 donation while we're riding to this next place.
Alrighty, here's $50 from Finn the Fox. This one made me laugh, so thank you for that. I, too, have been described as a relic ruin. Let's hit this incentive so I can be in good company. Hype!
Hype.
Thank you for that. All right, so up here we've got a few things going on. We're going to do a hologram, and it's basically us waiting a minute on it, but we're not going to waste that time. First, I got to maneuver between these things so I don't get stuck, but once the dialogue starts here, I'm good. Goes to this campfire. When I get the next dialogue lines right there, I can restart from save and skip that dialogue. Now we're going to go and activate this panel. So this is going to activate the hologram that's going to keep us waiting for a minute. We're going to utilize the time, though, to place down these traps. So again, this is New Game Plus, so we can set out our loadout ahead of time. And we don't use these traps on machines. We use them to refill ammo. So the ammo that I used already here for like the explosive stuff, let me craft it. Ammo is very, very important, especially on ultra hard. So blast paste and volatile sludge is hard to come across. So dismantling these blast traps will give us the resources to craft more of that. Blast traps will only give us blast paste, but all the other elite ones will give us volatile sludge, so. Yeah. Another thing that we can do with the charger here, we can, if we kind of glide above it, we can mount it. You're not supposed to mount it, but we glide on it, and it allows us to. Now we wait for silence to say, "You see, Aloy," and now we can move forward, and we'll, just at the right time, leave the area. Like, you're not supposed to leave go too far away, or else the game is like, you need to go back and watch this hologram. We won't let you progress, but we time it so that the mount leaves that max distance possible. at the exact second. So we utilize the running speed of the charger there to save a few seconds. Okay, and now coming up here, we have a kind of cool skip called the Igniter skip once we're inside this cave system, which Igniter skip found by Greedy Old Caw. Love how he founded it, but it essentially is going to be overriding a dialogue line that gives us a checkpoint to craft the igniter. But going into this, I have to be very careful with my camera position to not look at this machine that's in the corner there, because once you look at the machine, it's going to trigger a dialogue line. So we're going to wait until Aloy starts talking when we come out of this cave system to kind of trigger that dialogue so we can craft the igniter instantly. Skipping dialogue. Have anything you want to add right now, Alice?
Well, I think first here, this is our first mention of Dr. Sobek. This will come up a few times, but Aloy is, this is not how science works. Yeah, we got the skip. But Aloy is a clone of the scientist that created Gaia, called Elizabeth Sobek. Gaia was created basically in 2060 or something like that, because of the robot apocalypse. We don't need to get into that, but there's all these gene lock doors and special places that we have access to because we are a clone of Sobek, and it does come into play later on in the story.
Okay, so right here we have this big water room. So casually you have to zigzag around it, but we're gonna skip this entire room, and it saves the most time save throughout the entire run. Luckily, it's not too hard. I'm going to go for like a harder version right here, but there is a very easy casual version. I'm going to use like a movement combo introduced in Forbidden West to give myself a little bit of extra height and distance, and that was beautifully well done.
Yeah, that's about as clean as it can ever go. But yeah, so the easier versions are widely available online. It's actually the first skip that I ever learned because I played this game a lot casually, but God, the zigzag, it's a lot. Casually, it takes like 10 or 15 minutes to go through, and the easy version is just really easy.
It is extremely easy. It's really fun to do. Recommend trying it out. Yeah, we could read another donation here, I think.
Absolutely. Then here is $150 from Horizon Speedrun that says, thank you so much for showcasing Horizon on the GDQ main stage. We as a community are incredibly proud of having you, and the whole community is cheering for you, Bdud. You got this. Additional greetings to and from the German and Spanish restreams.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yes.
So coming up here, I'm going to be using an acid bomb, and I'm going to be shooting it on the ground. And essentially that will help skip some animations by Aloy kind of like going over it, because she's going to itch, and it's going to cancel any other animations that she would want. So I'm going to place a sticky bomb right there. That's going to go off in 10 seconds, and it will have a lingering effect there. But we're going to have a fight with like the spaceman guy here. I'm going to stand right here so he goes over here, because you can't activate this console when he's too close, but that skips the animation right there, the acid. Now I can shoot this instantly.
And we are taking advantage of the Spectre Gauntlet that was introduced with the Burning Shores DLC.
Yes. So Run changed a lot with the DLC coming out. And this allows us to destroy all of those red lights nearby. I messed up one right there.
Eric,
So, little
my
bit
God.
Yeah, Eric, please, calm down.
He has a sort of set path for this phase, or a set combo for this phase, but clearly he's not doing that. And he's just feeling really stabby.
Messing this part up a little bit. This should only take like 2 gauntlet, but the explosions aren't kind to you sometimes. Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. So helpful.
Oh, God, stop stabbing. So this is, Bdud is the first person to really do this for this phase. I like it a lot more than what we normally do, which is just an arrow, but it aims quite a bit easier.
It's more direct. Like it's always guaranteed to hit like the center point. Although you can't zoom in, so you got to be a little bit more accurate on the thumbsticks then. So this is our first underwater movement section, and you notice that I'm going to be doing these dodges underwater, and it helps me move faster. In this game, though, you get punished for dodging too often. So I gotta time a certain amount of these. This is something that you can upgrade by investing into more skills and equipment. But yeah, I'll go into that more later. I need to look at a specific checkpoint behind this wall to get it. Basically skips the last minute of this level by just looking at this kind of like rock right here. And yeah, now we're on our way to Tau.
Yeah, so what we did find here is we did find Gaia where she was supposed to be, but without any subordinate functions, which are kind of essential for Gaia to actually do what we need her to do. So we found the location of one, we're headed there. It's somewhat complicated. Yeah, one of the things that hasn't been clear as Bdud has been moving around is how often Aloy and Steve get stuck on things.
Oh, they get stuck on things all the time.
And it can be very frustrating and like kill a run early just because Steve decided to get stuck on some rocks.
Oh, Steve. Steve's up to his shenanigans again.
Yeah, so a lot of the movement that we're doing here is essentially just using what we have to go in straight lines instead of, go in the front door of locations. But yeah. Here we are talking with Zoe, who is in Utaru, which is yet another new society to us. And here we are doing a couple of things. We are getting a checkpoint or a fast travel point that's closer to the mountain that we need to go to. And we are also moving Zoe and Varl up the ramp to where they need to be. They do a very, very slow walk. And by restarting from save, they just appear here, and the fast travel point at the hunting ground that we just found out about, again, the rumor system becomes available to us. So that cuts out a good portion of the run to Repair Bay Tau, which is the mountain that we need to get to.
Yes, so we're on our way to Tau, cauldron that's, there's an attack going on with all these machines going about. But yeah, Tau, there's a lot of cool skips in there. Lots of puzzle rooms that we're gonna be able to, basically casually it would take you like 3-4 minutes each puzzle room, and it's gonna take us like 20 seconds each. So yeah, 3 cool jumps back to back. But first we gotta get in there, and we gotta work with Steve here to kind of not get stuck and go into this cauldron. You're not expected to really bring him in, but we're gonna bring him in, or as far as we can go.
Yeah. I like how you say 3 minutes for the first one. 3 minutes if you don't like.
There we go, nice.
Skill issue completely. It's more like 6 minutes for some of us.
Yeah, it definitely differs. We have Valor Surges coming up here, our first Valor Surge use, which Valor Surge is another revamped system here. Kind of like ultimate abilities from Overwatch, you could say. Charges up over time, and it's very special, powerful. The one that we use in the run is the Chain Burst ability, which allows you to chain damage from one machine to others within like a 15-meter radius. So boom, there we go. One throw, all 3 of those dead.
Yeah, and here it's especially useful because there's always one Leap Flasher, one machine that's headed out of the shield before the other 2, and so you can kill that one and kill the others before they come out of the shield. And here we have a path. The cauldrons we go into 2, they have this special ground that is very hard to slide over. But yeah.
Okay, so this one's really hard right here. There's a lot of backups, but I go for the hardest one that saves the most time. I'm gonna do a wall jump cancel here, so there we go, nice. It's kind of like doing a heavy attack after wall jumping. Oop, went too fast, over. But yeah, I've nailed that pretty much first try, so that was, nobody else can really pull that off in a run.
Yeah, quite literally, when Bdud says the hardest version, he is the only person who does that version. The version that most of us
nice.
do, yes, good, involves like running around the wall, doing a few jumps. Still very fast, still much faster than the room.
Note that I'm restarting checkpoint after both of those first 2 tower rooms. We got our 3rd tower right here, nice. Cleared all of those tower rooms, very, very good. But I restarted checkpoint on the first 2 tower rooms because in the right side of the screen you can see the override tool recharging. Restarting from save will recharge that tool instantly. So it saves a few seconds from us having to just like stand there and do nothing, pretty much. We have our first big fight, our first fight, the end of Act 1 here with the Grimhorn. We're gonna have to utilize all the effects that we would activate in with our New Game Plus loadout. So low health, freezing machines into a brittle state, and utilizing a critical hit. We need to utilize all of those here. So let's damage myself to low health. Let's notch up some frost arrows. Get ready for this guy to become active. Critical hit, yes, good job. 1 hit. Now we're gonna try and go to this wall and kill these guys behind the wall. Got a few of them after the wall, but that went very smooth still.
Yeah. We did the math when we were preparing for this, but like with low health, with critical hits, with frost, we didn't even think about agility bonuses. I forget what it is, but you're doing like 400 or 500% damage. It's really important with how much health these, especially we're getting into large machines, have in ultra hard to be able to sort of one-shot or pseudo one-shot them.
It really is. Yeah, so that's like the only big machine that we had to deal with in Act 1 that requires that high amount of effects going on. But in Act 2 and Act 3, we're going to come across machines all the time now that require that sort of, those sort of strategies. But yeah, we have completed Tau. Now we're going through the base. You're not supposed to know it's the base yet, but it's the base. And yeah. Alice, you want to give a little bit of an update on like Gaia and how we're restoring her right here?
Yeah, so Minerva's function is complicated. I don't fully understand it, but this is where Minerva is, and she's shutting everything down. What we are going to find out here, like we'll successfully merge her with Gaia. She'll be very happy. And in doing that, we get enough power to be able to find some other subfunctions, 3 of them, which is going to be the subject of our next, this is basically the end of Act 1. Act 2 will be finding these 3 other subfunctions that will help restore Gaia and sort of deal with the big issues that we have in the world, bad storms, blight, that sort of thing.
Yep. So right here, we're going to go outside for a second. We're going to try to go outside the vent and dodge roll in. Good. And that saves us a few seconds. Something you have to do right for just a split second right as you're standing out. We have this wall jump cancel we'll do out here. And then glide. Oh, went a little bit too far there. Glide left, Aloy. Thank you. And then go up here. So that skips a climbing section that would probably have taken like 30 more seconds. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Here we have to destroy some rocks, and the rocks can be a little bit finicky, but it's like sometimes you can slide, dodge roll through. Wasn't able to get it there. That's something that we never rely on getting through in a run, but it feels so nice to just like slide and dodge roll into a cramped little crouch area there. But here we go. Gaia has now been restored. Hooray! So now we gotta go establish some other things in the base. We are hoping that Zoe is following close behind us because she is.
Hooray.
Because we can use Zoe's dialogue right now to override Gaia's dialogue. Perfect. And go straight to this. Just sometimes that can be finicky because there's like a 10-15% chance that she gets stuck behind the door right here if you're moving too fast.
It's a very small time save, so like it doesn't really kill the run. It is just unfortunate. And now we have a lore dump. We find out who those aliens are, which is they're somehow related to some people who left Earth, maybe. And they wanted another copy of Gaia, obviously. And we're finding out about the subfunctions.
Yes. And I love Act 2 so much, like just going after Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter. Like, I love all the strats in this, and just like casually and speedrunning wise, it's where I feel like the meat of the run is. But yeah, so the first thing we need to do here is get a campfire. There, a campfire discovered, so now we can fast travel back here. But we want to set up for doing this cool strat to get a new flying mount here. So I'm going to notch some arrows up in preparation, then switch to my Spectre Gauntlet. I'm going to shoot this rock. It's going to alert some enemies, be like, what's that? What's that noise? And then I'm going to shoot another one, and they're going to be like, oh, we need to investigate this. This is something serious going on. So that's very precise in order to get this mount to always come down here. Had to play a lot into that. And then we're going to use that elemental arrow to knock it down. And that avoids just us having to slide up the mountain and kind of like override it ourselves. We're trying to get the Sunwing to come to us. But yeah, now we have a flying mount, and this I like to dub as a Richard. We love Richard. We love him when he cooperates with us. But yeah, now we're gonna have a lot of flying sections. Because it's a big open world, we're gonna fly from mission to mission. So there's gonna be some points where we're gonna be flying for a couple minutes. This will be one of them.
But first, why are you doing those barrel rolls, Bdud?
Good question. We're just trying to make Aloy sick, pretty much. No, barrel rolling is something that is faster, shocker. It's about 5 seconds every minute that you save that you're doing barrel rolls. So it's not like a lot, but it definitely matters when you're in a world record pace run. But yeah, this is something that didn't used to be faster. Like, I test everything. Like, I'm constantly looking for stuff in this game, and at release, when the DLC came out, and they did kind of like an overhaul update on all the systems when the DLC came out. And part of that was just making the flying mounts more maneuverable and like more adaptive to you like moving back and forth. So it made barrel rolling actually faster through that update.
Yeah, and when he says 5 seconds for whatever, it saves about a minute over the course. It's not a small time save. It was so nice having a break, but unfortunately we no longer have it. Also, just to orient you to the world, welcome to Las Vegas. That was the strat that we just passed. We are going to, I believe, the Paris Hotel right now, or the building on top of it, which is this pagoda looking thing. But that is where we are in the world. This is a pretty faithful, scaled down representation of the Western United States that we're flying through here, so we'll see some very familiar sights as we go.
All right, but we're going to go into the Tower of Tears and meet Moreland and crew. We love Moreland. This mission is so cool, but we just got to start the mission now. One thing I want to mention here is that we're skipping dialogue so fast, so we only hear the first syllable of a lot of dialogue. So it ends up making the people say things like,
"There's a butt."
There's a butt. Moreland syllables kind of just make it sound like he's saying there's a butt there for a second.
Yeah, so we're here for the Poseidon quest, but we need to collect some parts, which is why we're starting it early.
Yes. So we didn't always used to start it early and go here instantly, but basically the diving mask that we need to craft in order to go into the underground Las Vegas area requires us to go get some parts around. And we found out that we actually don't have to go do like the required quest there in order to go hunt for machines around in that Las Vegas area. We can get those machines parts anywhere. So we've routed them into other missions that we're doing on the way here in like the next 20 minutes. So we got to go to Memorial Grove, then to Catalo next. But on our way to Catalo, we're going to stop at a hunting ground to get a billowback part for the diving mask.
Yeah, and that was sort of a big discovery. A lot of these quests where it's sort of special machine parts that machines don't normally have, have to go to that specific machine. And this is about the only quest where it can just be any machine. Incidentally, don't do multiple of the same machine or your game will crash. But this is a fairly new discovery, and it's a pretty big time save for us.
Yes. I would say like just that routing that in saves like 40 seconds a bit, because it took us about a minute to do the quest just to get those machines, kill those machines. And we basically have no time left getting the long leg, and then like 15, 20 seconds just to stop by a hunting ground on the way to Catalo to get the billowback part. So.
And especially in ultra hard, that machine herd can go pretty wrong because it's the two machines we need plus a bunch of others, plus some glint hawks that are in the area. And if you've played either of the Horizon games, you know of glint hawks.
They're fun. Just like any flying machine. So we have to talk to Hikaru here. He's gonna say like, so we're looking for ether and trying to retrieve and return ether to Gaia, and it's in the basement of this place, Memorial Grove. Hikaru knows it's there, but he's saying he won't give it to us until he helps, until we help him, and he wants us to try to kind of like recruit one of the tribes that have been a little bit reluctant to join in helping against this cause against the Regala kind of like
rebellion.
Yeah, her just rebellion altogether. So we're gonna go help him and convince that tribe to come help. We have a few minutes where we can do some donations now.
A few minutes. Wow, all right. Well, I'll take that time. Chat, audience, this is a fantastic moment to remind you that we do have the All Relic Ruins incentive currently open. We have about an hour and 5 minutes left to technically meet that, but also we're at 12,193 of the 15,000 total. That leaves $2,807 remaining to finish that up. I totally believe we can do that much faster than an hour and 5 minutes. I'd love to meet that within the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, and then we can start opening up more incentives. We have so many amazing ones on the list ready for you after that. But there's a potential world record of confidence with Bdud waiting for that All Relic Ruin, so please help us meet that. Check out the prizes, the amazing prizes you can get while you're doing that. Check out all of the amazing things on our website. But to reach that at the bottom of our donation page, double check those incentives, select All Relic Ruins, and help push us towards that so we can keep getting more GDQ and show you more of the amazing incentives that'll come after that. Helping us out with that, we do have $15 from Itzy that said, I'm just finishing up the Horizon Forbidden West DLC, and I've loved the game so much. I already donated for the Ultra Hard incentive, but now I've got to give all for the Relic Ruins too. We need as much Horizon gaming as possible. $100 from Java Splice that said, would love to see those Relic Ruins. $25 from Talon Dragon that said, doing my part to get that Horizon All Relic Ruins incentive met. $50.50 from Amley that also said, donating towards my favorite series, Horizon, for the All Relic Ruins. Let's get her done.
All right, thank you guys so much. So here we're about to meet Catalo, and Catalo here is an AI that's gonna try and follow us as we go to the bulwark. We're gonna do this cool strat that's gonna affect his like AI nav mesh path. So let me get through this first part here.
Why do you think?
Yeah, I was just gonna say we took a safety save just for here. You do a jump that isn't terribly precise, but can get messed up, especially marathon luck. But we got it.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so he does like this, what are you doing? And then he cuts that off with on me, and that's a indication that that you've kind of like messed up his like AI directive, and he has no idea where he's going. We're gonna get a campfire here because we're gonna fast travel to it later. But yeah, essentially what we're doing with Catalo is we're confusing his AI where he's like, wait, I don't know where to go. I haven't detected you on the ground at all. So I don't know where to go. So you're not supposed to be able to teleport him, but by me just going here while he's confused, it makes the game think he should go here. So there he goes. Saves like a minute of you having to handhold him everywhere. Something that took us like a few months to discover that you could do it, but it's one of the cooler strats in this game, I think. Has a lot of cool science behind it.
And now I get the least cool place of this one.
Yes, this is the stairs from hell, because you have to slide up these stairs, and God, is it hard. They're going well so far, but yeah, like sliding up them, can get caught pretty well. Yeah, like right there.
Yeah, sometimes I just roll up them and take the second to take a few steps so I don't stumble, but...
Yeah, that went fairly well, though. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so we met the tribe. They're kind of not cool people. So we need to try to convince them that, like, basically the place that they live in, they have such overconfidence in their wall and everything. So we're going to try to look into this wall that they have and see, and kind of prove that it's not as high and mighty as they say, and kind of convince them that they need to rely on multiple tribes banded together to defend against the rebellion. So I'm going to use fast travels there to quickly go from place to place. It's faster than just going like inside and outside the cave directly. Going into low health because we got an important fight coming up here, the Tremor Tusk fight.
Yeah, I like how you say convince. It's a special kind of convincing we're gonna do.
Yeah. So activated cutscene here. We're gonna use agility bonus in the air to freeze this guy instantly. We gotta wait for a certain animation, because we're gonna aim for his eye, and it's pretty fast. Oh, missed it, and no crit. Nice. Okay, got it. We're using elite arrows to penetrate the armor of these guys, by the way. I'm almost
And
gone in stamina. One more guy I need to kill right there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that fight went.
Yeah.
Just that last guy. So we've retrieved the Tremor Tusk cannon. And with this cannon, we're gonna do fun things to the wall.
yeah. So Bdud's running here. We have to run past this point for Katala to know what to do with the Tremor Tusk cannon. But like I said, we do a lot of, placing and cajoling our mount to do what we want. So here we're gonna set him in a flight path so we can just grapple up onto him while Aloy's deciding what of the 15 options that she has she should take. Incidentally, she should take none of them because we're gonna go do something else.
Okay, there's 3 spots that you need to shoot on this wall, but it's very inaccurate, so it's not always 3. There we go. Bulwark wall is down, and in a cutscene that we skipped there, we've convinced the tribe, so yay!
Yeah, by destroying their defenses.
That's the best way to convince, just destroy the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this was in an effort to get ether. We don't actually have ether yet, but we're gonna go do something else first.
Yeah, Ether is like a big multi-step mission. But since we're so close to Demeter, we're gonna go and go do Demeter right now. So Demeter is actually gonna be the first subordinate function that we complete and we'll take back to the base. So just doing some more barrel rolls over this mountain. Now we can't get too close here or else it's gonna tell us that, hey, you can't fly over this mission because we don't want you to fly over and skip all the cool stuff that we put in the game. So we gotta get off the mount there. And now we're gonna very, very carefully fall down here. I'm at low health. I do not want to die. I've died here on many occasions before, so we're gonna be very careful.
Wait, we shan't mention disaster relief.
Yeah, no. But yeah, just go about this pace.
Coordinates the guy gave me for Demeter are close.
Very nice. Slow and steady wins the race, except that last fall. Cool. Okay, now some sliding here. When we get to the bottom of this mountain, we can spawn Steve and to get us the rest of the way. Down here. Okay, cool. I have survived the mountain.
Nice spawn. One of the things that we're doing when we call them out is manipulating the camera. our mounts won't spawn where we're looking. So if we want them to to spawn in front of us, then we look down or away.
So this fight here is the introduction to the Quinn. This first fight is not required, but the next fight is. The next fight, we have to kill all the enemies in order to meet one of my favorite characters, Alva. But in order to do that, we have to... There's supposed to be 6 enemies, but we're only going to spawn 4 of them. Basically, it's if you don't touch the ground, you won't spawn this interaction that brings 2 extra enemies into that room. So we're going to prop ourselves on this like metal beam. Let me do some wall jumps up here to clear this elevator shaft. Okay, cool.
No way out.
Yeah, so a lot of our skips are actually to avoid swimming and to avoid, a lot of our platforming is to avoid climbing because it's very slow, thus doing a bunch of wall jumps. But here, Bdud is using a technique called quick switch reloading, where there's something in settings where you can just tap a button and it'll
Perfect.
switch to your most recently used or designated ammo type. And if it's to a different weapon, it'll reload your previous weapon automatically, which for things like sharp-shot bows that have a really slow reload speed, especially this particular sharp-shot bow, we can use it so we can take shots, especially focus shots, much more quickly.
Yes. I love my skipping the reload animations. It feels so good. Okay, so we have one of the most cursed out of bounds I have ever seen in any game here. So be prepared. Prepare your eyes here. We're going to do a wall jump cancel up here and now. Just with how they render all the different areas, it kind of goes finicky here.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. No. Okay. Okay, we're good. So we're just gonna go across and above the sewer system. Trust me, like this looks torturous to navigate through, but trust me, after you go through it a few times, it's really not so bad.
You're basically just running in a straight line.
Yeah, pretty much. With just a few small jumps here. And then the devs have a skylight there that we can conveniently drop down to get back in bounds. But yeah, the whole purpose of that out of bounds is just to save about 10 seconds because you have to do this like igniter thing to wait on an explosion. So it's nice to just clear that and go above it, you know?
And it looks cool.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels cool when you get it. Bdud talks a bunch about these wall jump cancels, which are, again, a relatively new technique and are pretty hard to get the first time. But once you get it, you want to do it all the time because, like, it feels impressive.
And it looks cool.
Yeah, and we have a terrible pull.
Yeah, not the best pull, but there's a finicky thing where if you're at a certain angle, you can sometimes insta-pull those grates off. It's not consistent. We don't know, like we try to do the same stuff that we do where we've had successes, like try the same angles where we've had successes, but it's very unreliable. That, I didn't get a fast pull at all. We have another chance here, though, in like 10 seconds. So let's see if I can get we'll see if we can get it fast. Yeah, it's gonna be this vent over here against this wall. Let's see. Triangle, pull. Nope.
Nope.
Nah, didn't get it. That's A-okay. Maybe lost like only like 3 seconds out of that, maybe.
But then we get my favorite thing to do, which is the aerial slash thing.
Yeah, so we can avoid getting knocked back by doing an aerial slash against that igniter explosion. I love the movement tech so much. It's I really love using it in any % ultra hard specifically because it just like it involves some of the coolest strategies I've ever had the pleasure of learning and utilizing. But yeah, I love how we can avoid like getting knocked back with it also and like get extended jumps. Right here, we normally have to wait on like a minute of Alva's dialogue of us just doing nothing and just waiting on it, but we're gonna utilize the time to go back and get the long leg parts, and that completes the quest that we started with the Poseidon quest to build the diving mask. So we got the bellowback part, and now we have the long leg part. So at any point, we can go back and craft the diving mask and continue the Poseidon quest. But we're not going to do that until after Demeter and the cold route. But yeah, I literally did that with no time loss. So very good.
And the only downside to it is we don't get to hear Alva cry about how doomed she is.
Doomed. I'm sorry, Alva.
So
We can restart from save right after putting in this battery. To be put upstairs.
and then we're off to see our next big machine
Yes,
very shortly.
it's a scary, scary bat. Another flying machine.
Yes,
I'll get to the other console.
big bet.
We need to go to low health, and we're gonna utilize this fall with aiming down when we hit the bottom there to avoid staggering. Yes, and now we're gonna dodge roll through that. We slid and dodge rolled through that to avoid any crouching. We hate crouching, it's so slow. But yeah, we're low health now, so we can take advantage of the damage bonus. We also need to get prepared to have the right weapons on and notch my arrows here for the ice. But yeah, the same strategy is gonna apply here. Try to ice the machine and then try to do a focus shot on one of its components. It's hard to hit the components while it's flying, but we got a critical hit there. Oop, he landed like literally right on me.
Yeah, the nice thing about
Nice.
a lot of the status effects is that whenever a machine is affected by them, they stop moving, which means flying animals or flying machines fall. So it makes it a lot easier to hit the components that you need to. But now we have a little bit of out of boundsness.
Yes, so I activated a hologram right there, and the game expects you to just sit there and watch it. We have gotten too far away where we don't even know what the hologram is saying, but it is going still. We're gonna do an out of bounds here, so we're out of bounds right now. And essentially, we can't go too far away or else the hologram will kind of like reset, just kind of like with the silence dialogue at the death's door mission. But we can utilize being within a regular distance to prep getting to this workbench ahead of time, because this is where the next destination quest update is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
So you eliminate the time, essentially, from traveling from the hologram to here after Alva's dialogue is finished.
Yeah, because at the end of this dialogue is when the door would open for the intended path, but that's also when you get the crafting recipe. So if you can be by the workbench, you can skip running around to get back here. And with the quest update, here we go. We get the vine cutter to take care of those nasty little flowers. Also, incidentally, with all of these things that we're crafting, we do actually have them in New Game Plus until we start these quests and have to craft them again. So here we have the metal flower.
You can aim here to put your stick in the flower quicker.
Door's clear now.
Yeah. We're about to, we have to get Demeter now. We've completed the whole Demeter quest. We just got to retrieve it right here
Time to bring Demeter home.
and bring it back to the base. We could go for a few donations here, I think.
Alrighty, well, I have an idea here to play along with our chat and our audience to push us to reaching that all-relic ruins. We're about 52 minutes into the run, so by 1 hour mark, I'd love to see as many donations as possible, referring to what you call your funny little guys in games, your summons, your pets, your mounts, etc. We have Steve, we have Richard. Personally, when I have a summon or etc. in a game, I name them pancakes. Long story, it's just always been a thing. I'd love to see what you all name those in your games, and make sure you put those donations towards the All Relic Ruins incentive. I want to reach that as fast as possible so we can start opening new ones, and so you can see an amazing potential world record from Bdud5, so let's see them. Helping that is $25 from Kobe that said, Aloy, slide faster. I mean, Steve, run faster. I mean, Richard, flap faster?
Thank you. But yeah, Thank you, everyone that's put donations into the Relic Ruin incentive. Really, really want to show that off. I've been practicing it a lot, and I think I could really show it off well. So
We are $2,242 away. We absolutely can get that, but the faster the better.
yeah, we can do it, guys. We can do it. All right, so after you, so you can get any subordinate function and bring it back, either Poseidon, Demeter, any of them you can bring back, but after you bring back the first one, you're forced to do this mission no matter what. So this, we call the beta split because this introduces one of the major characters, Beta. But we'll talk about her in a minute here, but to start off, we can show off a sticky bomb strat. I'm gonna wait for Aloy's dialogue to end there, and now I'm gonna put a sticky bomb. 10 seconds after I shoot that, it's gonna knock me away. I'm gonna examine this corpse, but I'm stuck here. I can't like move around, but the sticky bomb is gonna knock me out of it and allow me to move. So I can go to the next investigation point while that dialogue is finishing. So this is gonna eliminate any time we would take traveling between all the investigation points.
It looked like she can make it come and go.
And we do that for sort of all of these to help just get us right in position to start the next dialogue point.
That might be a little bit high.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that's okay though.
I need to know how it worked. But I'll have to check on it once it's cooled off.
We can still do a sticky bomb on the last one here to help us a little bit.
Yeah. When you're doing this strat, the Spectre that was the machine that we investigated can go a little wrong, and then you get soft lock until you restart from save. It's great. We got it here, but it requires some particular like button mashing to get at. And then we have our frozen buddy, which
Fox.
You didn't see it there, but Aaron just that entire time stands there frozen, which is really funny. But
Yeah, I gotta slide down this. Hopefully we don't get caught. So another thing we're gonna do here is shoot an acid bomb here, and similar to Death's Door earlier, we can just skip the animation of having to activate the console and instantly just be at the door. So another instance where we're just eliminating the time spent on travel time. Very nice. We're gonna jump up these stairs like that. Very good. We're gonna have a fight coming up here with two specters. They're very little threatening. I like to think of them as like the PS versions of the machines. They're new, improved, all white.
yeah,
We need to go into low health again here. So once we get close enough, we've activated dialogue that we can wait on, but there we go. Aloy's almost dead. Allows us to take advantage of the most damage. Activate the code, and now we gotta be pretty precise here. So need to get the acid trap ready. We're gonna try and go to a place that we're not supposed to be, right up here. We're gonna use an extended shield wing jump. Good, barely made that. Place that, get my sharp shot bow ready. Okay, another one. Nope, crit please, thank you. And that went well, because that guy can escape you pretty easily, and then you have to go chase him for like 20 seconds if he gets down below, because he jumps down to the area that we like inputted the code, you know?
yeah.
So,
They're very fast and they climb the walls, and there's a lot of places for them to hide.
okay. Now for this one, we can't prep an acid trap beforehand, so we need to prep some ice arrows. Come on, Aloy, slide for me, slide, please.
I'm here.
There we go. Now let's try to do this. Nice, one hit. Oh, very good.
Crit RNG has redeemed itself.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe the Xenos won't be so invincible after.
So if you see the damage numbers popping up, yellow numbers are critical hits. Granted, if you hit like armor, it can still be like 2 damage, but you know, it's more than 1. But that's what we're looking for when we're looking for crits.
If we can replicate it,
All right.
maybe we'll
Now the next split up here is one of the the craziest looking in the run, the most impressive looking, I think. It's the coal route, and basically what the coal route is that you're going to be defending against this rebellion. So it's going to be this big machine onslaught that comes, and we're going to utilize like the chain burst valor surge to just deal one hit to one machine and have it connect to all the others. It's very satisfying to perform and watch.
Yeah, but first we have to disappoint Beta. Beta, if you look at her, looks kind of familiar. That is because she is also a clone of Elizabeth Sobek. She was created by the Xenas basically to open these restricted spaces, but she has hidden herself and escaped from them, but she's very disappointed that we have not made more progress, so she's very doom and gloom.
Outlander.
But now, off to the cool route.
All right, so this is the one point where we'll go to our stash, and with our stash, we'll refill a lot of ammo and resources. We used to do it twice, but we've been able to be precise enough with our resource management that we've been able to reduce it down to just this point here. So let's try to get some slides in, talk to Hikaru, and then there we go. Skip dialogue. Go, go, go.
Yeah, because with our ammo, the elite precision arrows that we're using, we can only carry 6 of them, and they require so much volatile sludge to craft, and we can only carry 15. So we gotta refill. We gotta refill with ammo that we don't have to craft. We gotta refill things like machine muscle, metal bones, all of that sort of stuff that we can't necessarily get from the traps, but we only have like one other opportunity for traps. So here we have the cool route.
All right, let's do this. Let's focus and trying to get a good cool route.
So because it's ultra hard, again, we freeze first, and then we go and we shoot where we can obvious components. Oh, nice. It helps when you have a Ravager first because they have a gun on the top of their back. Come on.
It was so good, but now it's not so good.
No.
Need to drink some stamina. This is what happens when you fail the strats, because our stamina is very tight.
And the bad part about things like Ravagers is they have guns that can hit you and like kill you in ultra hard.
Get that.
And
Oh, come on. Yeah, certainly could have been a better cool route fight. That's okay.
But there's still something.
Is there? Oh my god.
Rollerbacks have almost no weak points, which is just fun.
There we go. Ooh.
But
That's okay. We'll be able to recover with a snake fight here. So freeze this guy instantly, or one more shot. Shoot. Quick switch. Shoot. There we go. Okay, good. Slither thing went well.
Yeah.
The start of the coal route, like the pew pew section we like to call it, where we're using our Valor Surge there, the first two like waves of enemies that spawned there went really well, but they got so scattered from each other, and you can't really utilize the Valor Surge when they're more than 15 meters away. So part of that was just bad RNG of the machines.
Yeah, it's a really big RNG section of what machines you get, in what order, how close together they are, and if you get everything just right with the first waves, you can skip the last wave, which is ideal, but again, doesn't always happen. But here we got Ether.
Yeah. I'm a bit low on stamina potions, a lot more than what I'd like. We need to find a point for next time when we got downtime to craft some more. Because we're definitely going to need to use some stamina potions later. Okay, fast travel back to the base. So yeah, now we have 2 subordinate functions collected. We're going to return this to the base, and then we're going to go to Poseidon. But before we start Poseidon, we can go through a few donations.
Absolutely. Here's $50 from ReDoc19 that said, looking forward to seeing this Horizon Forbidden West on Ultra Hard at AGDQ. Let's reach that donation goal. All praise our Lord and Savior, Gildan.
Praise Gildan. Thank you so much, Doc. Great community member.
Here's $25 from our great friend Anonymous that said, so excited to be able to spend my first GDQ watching Bdud's Horizon run live. Good luck to Bdud, Aloy, Steve, and Richard. Smiley face. $25 from Made by Scar saying, greetings from the German restream. I want to comment all the relic ruins and see what Bdud has in store for us. So show us how good of a delver you are and make Gildan proud. We currently are under $2,000 away from reaching that all relic ruins incentive. We're under $1,700 away. We're getting there, but we need your help. Make sure you select that incentive at the bottom of the donation page. We can only make it with your help, team. Time for more donations? Are you ready to take
One
over?
more is good.
One more. Well, here's $25 from Satori Earth that said, so good to finally see HFW at GDQ. Let's go, Bdud. Shame you don't get to show off infinite jumps, but Bryn shared a vision with me that by the power of the great Opaly, you will have a sweet Gildan dream of a run tonight.
Thank you so much, Jay. Appreciate it. All right, so here we have crafted the diamond mask. We're gonna eat a food called Ruby Sunrise, and this is gonna allow us to do more dodges in a row. So with our current skills and equipment, we can do 6 dodges in a row before they get exhausted and Aloy is huffing and puffing and needs a break. But by eating this Ruby Sunrise, we can up that to 8 in a row. So it's very important in this split specifically because it's a lot of underwater swimming. So we can do 8 of these dodges that I'm doing here before I need to stop for 1 second, and then I can continue them. But here we go. We're just gonna go through this door. Nothing to see. Oh my God! What is that?
The jump scare.
The jump scare. That is our fun little Tide Ripper friend, the Loch Ness monster pretty much in machine form. We're gonna look at this door, nice. Yeah.
So there we're waiting for this dialogue cue. If you don't wait for it before you swim here, this thing won't activate, but it'll tell us where we need to go for this little swimming section.
Right.
So all of what we're doing here is that we need to get to Poseidon, but Poseidon is in that door we looked at. And so while the machine is there and while the water's there, we can't get that. So we're draining the water, then fighting the machine, and then we go get Poseidon. But of course, there's other machines in the water. There's burrowers, there's snap maws that notice us and get grumpy. And if you miss this, it's very unfortunate.
That's okay. Still recovered that pretty well. But yeah, these 2 valve rooms right here, we're gonna do some skips on the ledges here to go up to where we need to go instantly. The first valve room here isn't too big of a deal. We're gonna do an acid bomb on the floor here to skip the valve turning animation. We gotta wait for this thing to go down. There we go, and then we can start moving.
Yeah.
The second valve room is gonna be really fun and cool though.
Incidentally, we are going to these in the opposite order of how they want us to do it, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they allow you to do any of them, but do them in any order. But one's kind of called primary and the other one's secondary. So
We do secondary then primary because then we're just swimming in very straight lines.
So here I'm gonna be doing this tough ledge grab that either is a hit or miss. Basically I have to surface on the water as soon as I hit the wall. So I'm gonna try and line this up perfectly, see if I can get this first try. Nope, tried to do it again. Okay, nice, only 2 tries. Not too bad. No! Why did I do that? Okay, go back up there, please.
So yeah,
Need to get back in the corner.
Yeah, Aloy will grab so many things that you don't want her to grab. She ledge
There we
grabs for fun on the weekends, but we can abuse that to do things like this.
All right, But now that we've done that, we have one of the coolest things that was discovered like a year ago, which is
not even, yeah. It's the wet wiggle, which is he makes it look simple. It is everybody's favorite skip name and nobody's favorite skip to do.
Yeah, but essentially what that's doing is there's a strat found by Driver, and basically whenever you're underwater and you're against two parallel surfaces, you can dodge roll into one and then shift that dodge roll facing into the other one, and it kind of like slips Aloy between the cracks and allows her to clip through the wall. So we are literally just out of bounds underwater right now. Get to see a lot of out of bounds, but I bet you don't get to see an underwater out of bounds every day.
And now we have a double RFS that somehow
Yeah, for some reason,
works.
restarting from save twice here just like puts you outside of the area here and saves like 25 seconds.
Yeah, because the big thing that we're skipping with the swim is actually some internal work we'd have to run through here, but yeah, as per usual, we are getting to low health, prepping frost arrows and such for the Tide Ripper fight.
Oh, that is not what I wanted to have selected. Okay, this guy is gonna take 3 crit hits. Oh my God, that was actually a very impressive shot there. Yes. I don't remember the last time I've ever taken that guy down in 2 shots, but I basically got the God pixel shot there, and I got his heart beneath, behind his chest there. So, very good Tide Ripper fight.
Yes.
Poseidon should be hiding in some.
So,
For that Tide Ripper fight, by the way, you do not want to shoot its sacks because that's like its main components that it kind of like wants you to shoot at, but don't shoot it because then it makes just takes away the freezing effect on it that allows you to do more damage. And I would know because that's the thing that I failed the most in the world record run. Everything else was really flawless in it, except for that strat, and that lost like 20 to 30 seconds, which the run is really, really good. But if there's any need for improvement in that run, it's that.
yeah, machines or any enemy can only have one status effect at a time, and it has Purge Water Sac, so it'll just Purge Water itself, which is in a very niche playstyle sort of way, useful status effect, but really, really isn't for us.
Yeah. We have to now backtrack through the drained water here in Poseidon, which I really love just this drained just aesthetic of everything. It's really, really cool. But we're gonna have to go back up the elevator shaft here. We swam it down it, but the water's not there, so we're gonna have to utilize a lot of these pull casts.
Yeah.
And what you'll see me do, which you might have noticed this, but I do like heavy attacks here, and that reduces the time that I'm in mid-air. Because mid-air is slow and you don't move very fast. So we try to get to the ground as much as possible in this.
Yes, and so we're going up the fast way. There is actually an elevator now. Casually, I highly recommend it.
Nice.
But here we just do grapple launches.
All right. And now we're gonna, this is our third and last subordinate function to bring back to Gaia. Something funny here is that all we have to do is go in the base and we get a checkpoint. This took us literally 2 years to figure out that you can restart from save here and you save 15 seconds because it takes you back to Gaia. The reason why it took us so long is because you have to do Poseidon last in order for that checkpoint to just spawn there and send you here. For some reason, doing Kolrud last or Demeter last just won't give you that checkpoint. So we prioritize Poseidon last there.
Yeah, and the lore is conflicting. Apparently it used to be there, but then it was patched out, but then it was not. But with this fast travel, Bdud is going to be calling Richard as soon as possible before this dialogue starts, because the game says it's very, very important, and so you must stand there and listen to it. Shouldn't move. But here we have a pretty long flying section, so unless Bdud, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, we can go through about a minute or two of donations right now.
You've got it. Let's kick that off with a $100 donation, a very special one here from Bdud's mom and dad, and they say, Ali says hi. Shout out to mom and dad.
Thank you so much. That is my mom and dad and their dog, and my dog.
Your dog.
Oh, thank you so much, mom and dad. I appreciate it.
You always love to see support like that. It's so sweet. Here's a $10 donation from Blue Bow that said, my adorable boyfriend encouraged me to watch consistently this year, and I'm super happy I did. Fun games, fun methods, and fun people. I'm super happy to see good people serving a good cause. Wishing everyone here the very, very best. Thank you so much for that. We had a huge $1,000 donation come in. Whew, thank you so much. That is from Dubanka that said, are they robot dinosaurs or dinosaur robots? Either way, sign me up for more. And thank you so much for that huge donation because they also put it towards that All Relic Ruins incentive. We are now only $70 away. It's gonna happen.
Oh my God.
Who is gonna be the one to push us over that finish line? Is it gonna be you? We'd love to see you help us with that. And a lot of people actually caught on with my silly little guy donation train there. Here's $25 from Slickify that said, my horse in Stardew Valley is always named Wuffy. I don't know why, but thank you for that. $10 from My Hero Zero that said, silly guy name donation. I name my Palico in Monster Hunter games Mr. Kitty. $15 from Andy that said, I name all my Final Fantasy 14 mounts. Most notably, I've got a flying giraffe called Francis Jeffrey. $10 from Neon that said, donating to the Minion Train to shout out the mounts, buddies, and Pokemon I named after my spice cabinet. Here's to you, Nutmeg. And $6.79 from Lady Applesauce. Because of some accidental button mashing when playing the original Final Fantasy VII and breeding chocobos, I accidentally named a chocobo 679, PR. Since then, any game where I can enter text for the name of a mount or vehicle, I always use it. I'm sure they understand that name perfectly. Thank you all so much for your help so far, getting us so close to that All Relic Ruins incentive. Still $70 away. I know we're going to meet it. I'm just waiting to see who does it.
Yep. Thank you all so much. Such incredible support. Yeah, we're almost done with the flying here. We're about to reach the first Apex machine introduced in the run, which Apex machines are really hard versions of regular machines. So it's an Apex Thunderjaw. It's going to have more health. It's scripted to have 2/3 of its health here, but yeah, we're gonna try to utilize a certain animation that we can always rely on of it to aim for its forehead for a very weak point. Yeah, we try to position our Sunwing here to, yo, we did it! Let's go! We got the challenge, the Relic Ruins. Let's grab on Richard here.
Yes, and while we have this minor lull, I do have to point out to certain members of the community, did you see the Apex Spiny?
Did
when
you
we were
see
flying?
it? Yeah, did you see it?
Did you see it?
Did you see it?
Anyway, so here we have the Thunderjaw fight, which is going to be a, pretty standard fight. Shoot the weak spot, hope for crits.
Still need to be precise on the weak point here and get crits. Okay, we got one.
Crit.
Got two. Okay, good. Very good. Now we're gonna use Richard to hopefully get over this wall. Nope.
Nope.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We didn't die. Thank God I didn't die to fall damage. So you can skip that wall and saves like 3 seconds, but it's okay. We got the Thunderjaw with the critical hits we needed, so good.
So this is a little bit of unskippable loading screen / cutscene here. A little bit of context for what are we doing here? There's this subordinate function called Hephaestus, which is in charge of the cauldrons, shocking enough, which is where the machines are made. He's responsible for all the Apex machines, and we need to contain him. But we have alpha authorization, which should be the highest, but he deleted that. So Ted Farrow, you don't super need to know who he is, but he created this Omega clearance, and this is where his company is. So we're going to take the Omega clearance in hopes of capturing Hephaestus. So we have to play along with the Quen here to get access to this because they've been trying and not succeeding to get in here.
We're gonna do another fun little out of bounds here using the wet wiggle. So wiggle, wiggle, there we go, nice.
Much easier than the other one.
Yes, that one, it depends on the surfaces that you wet wiggle against, but yeah, that one's very, very lenient.
And this is just allowing us to skip or to swim straight. We would have to do these turbine puzzles, which don't take a ton of time, just a little bit of precise swimming, but here we are.
Good, good.
Inside, and we're gonna have a wardrobe change.
Yes, where it's time for the business pajamas.
Ted Farrow here comes into play because the CO, who's sort of the nominal leader, thinks he is the second coming of Ted Farrow, and since Elizabeth Sobek was clearly his assistant, we must also cosplay as Elizabeth Sobek to, like, fulfill his fantasy or something, I don't know. The nice thing about the business jammies is that we can upgrade them and keep those upgrades and any outfit modifications that we put in from play cycle to play cycle. So they have all sorts of things that we need, but we do a little skip to get over that invisible wall that saves us from climbing downstairs, open the door like we did it the right way, and now we have some corruptors, which are
There we go, okay. Could have done that in 2 shots, but I could do it in 3 too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some nice Horizon Zero Dawn machines. And the CO's hopefully going to tell us, yes, that it was well fought. He's so pompous, the CO. It's such great voice acting. But
So-
here, yeah, go ahead.
So we have about like 40, 50 seconds here to just put traps here, and we're gonna need them here because the next split is the hardest in the entire run. It's Gemini. There's a lot of fights back to back here. It's just an onslaught of machines to go through, so we wanna make sure that we stock up on our supplies here. I wanna try and get that volatile sludge to 15. You can see on the left side what resources I'm collecting. So I need to do 2 more bombs, 2 more traps, I should say.
Yeah, so as much as we can only carry 15 sludge, we get 2 from every elite trap that we can deconstruct, and there's 4 different types of elite traps, and we can carry 15 of them. So like we can technically carry an additional 120. It just takes some time to get them. And now we get our favorite line.
Oh yes, the best line. Our community memes about this line so much. CEO's gonna say, a vent? Is that a vent of some sort?
Not a bad
Not a
idea.
bad idea. We love that line more than we should.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna need to use the elite arrows here and pray for crit hits.
Yeah, so don't get.
Don't worry, we got it.
There's a little bit of an issue that can happen there, but we have gotten our Omega clearance. We have
Nice,
also
perfect.
we've had a perfect fight.
Almost perfect. It was a little sloppy with the second guy, but I got all the crit hits, and that's what really matters.
Yeah, and we have found out that Ted Farrow strived for immortality, so he was alive as something, but the CO had him killed because if he's still alive, how could the CO be Ted Farrow? And so this place is exploding, and the Quinn are trying to kill us so that we don't tell anyone, but that's why this is happening. And now we get splat percent, which is everyone's favorite. The CO gets a little splatted.
Something to mention here is that we're gonna do what looks like infinite jumps across this wall. There used to be a popular piece of tech to do infinite jumps on any wall, just like that. That got patched out, but there's a remnant that got left over just at that curve, just because of the slope there, that we can still utilize.
Yeah, and then that got patched out basically on the PC port, unfortunately. But yeah, that's just you jump, aim, land, all the way up.
All right, so now it's time for the hardest split in the game.
Yes.
Time to focus in, time to lock in.
Yeah, so this place we're going is Cauldron Gemini. It is a cauldron that was built on a fault line. So there's 2 different cores on either side. So we can have 2 people working together to capture Hephaestus, which by including Beta, by using Beta, we can do this in a much shorter amount of time, which is important because those aliens, the Zeniths, they're still looking for this. But Beta is understandably scared because she's scared of all of this, and also by being recaptured by the Zeniths. So in all of this, we promise to kill her instead of letting her be captured, which is a promise we definitely follow through on.
Spoilers. All right, so I'm in low health. I got my arrows notched up. The first fight here is gonna have 2 big machines here. We're gonna rely on a very precise eye shot. So we're gonna have to, it kind of like flinches 3 times after we freeze it. So freeze it fully. Nope, missed the eye, but that's okay because it's 2-shot.
Yeah, and one of the things that we haven't really talked about here, but has been true with all of these fights, is while we're doing them, while he's doing them, Bdud is trying to move toward where he's supposed to be. So for the Tremor Tusk fight, he was trying to move towards the Tremor Tusk. While he was killing everything, here he's trying to move towards that jump up. In the Gwen fight that we just had, he was trying to move towards the door the entire time. Just a little bit of optimization for those world record attempts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we're going to activate our Valor Surge again to chain damage from one machine to another. So activate there. There's going to be some machines that come out of the way right down here, and we want to throw a hell shot. Ooh, one did not die. That is interesting.
Yes, and this is one of the sort of bigger, not bigger, but it is a difference between story and ultra hard is the order that we do this and some of the strategies that we use. So here we have 2 Apex Red-Eyed Watchers and a Spike Snout. And then coming up, we'll have another Red-Eyed Watcher, a Bellowback, and then an Apex Claw Strider that we, as a community, have named Mark.
Mark. We love Mark. Even though we're going to kill him every time.
Do we love Mark?
Debatable.
But at least here, what we're doing there is we're trying to wait for the Bellowback to get close enough that we get the chain burst effect when we kill the Watcher, which we were successful with. So that worked out well.
These override uplinks, by the way, you can aim out of them to avoid the animation of Aloy pulling the stick out, pretty much. So just want to note that really fast. We're going to the next one. So these leap blasters, this is actually really important. We're going to get the leap blasters here, but the long leg you want to keep alive, okay? If you kill the long leg, you're essentially going to go through about 2 extra leap blasters are going to spawn. It's a little bit annoying having to deal with the long leg without wanting to kill it. I'm going to do a walls jump here. It's very technical, but
yeah. So
nice.
What you're supposed to do to get in here is ride these sort of flying machine things. Unfortunately, that is slow. Long leg.
Where is this robot chicken? There we go. Tear you down.
We have the rope caster specifically for this, and as long as we kill the Grimhorn here first,
no, that'll work.
we will only have to kill that, and then we can go ahead and kill the long leg.
Long leg made that a little bit difficult there, coming at the last second, but still a right fight. Okay, I need to craft some more arrows for this last fight for the big monstrous slaughter spine. Love the theme of the slaughter spine, makes it really cool. What makes it funny though in this is that like it makes it so epic, and we just kill it while it's like charging up basically.
It is unfortunately also the same theme as the Tremor Tusk. It's a really cool theme, but I'm sort of disappointed that it didn't get its own. But yeah, this is by the boat that we took to San Francisco.
Nice.
This is the machine that's there.
Thank you. Yeah, that was, except for that third room, that was I mean, I guess I did mess up the second room too a little bit with the machines going into the second room, but that was pretty adequate, Gemini, I'd say.
It is a excellent marathon Gemini.
Yes, yes, especially for a marathon showcase, I'm pretty happy with how that Gemini went.
And this is just, like, honestly, as far as movement in Gemini goes, this is excellent movement. Like, this floor is so terrible.
Oh, yes, you get caught on everything. It sucks. But with practice and experience, you learn what slopes tend to work a little bit better than others. But yeah, that's Gemini complete. We're just going to skip the cutscene and ignore exactly what happens plot-wise there, not dwell on anything.
No. What happens?
Yeah, surely nothing bad happens. It's just Varl is going up to stay at a farm for a while, you know, along with Joel from Last of Us. So.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have 2 final missions left. These ones will be a little bit more slower paced compared to the rest of the game, but yeah, we're almost there, nearing the end.
And we just got to meet our friend Tilda.
Yes, Tilda.
Who is one of the Xenists, but has decided that she's going to help us for pure reasons, just out of the kindness of her heart.
Gonna try to, we gotta wait on some dialogue, so I'm just gonna get some extra resources here. I wanna have the fast travel on my quick select wheel because we don't wanna use the touchpad to go to the map. We wanna use the fast travel here, or else we're gonna have to
look at a bunch of data points.
Yes. And then we're gonna fast travel here, talk to Zoe.
Yeah, so if
Another fast travel.
Yeah, so if it wasn't clear, Varl and Zoe were sort of dating a little bit, and so she's very, very sad about Varl's, abandonment. So we go to talk to her, and now this is the point where we're supposed to get the Sunwing in the story. Because of New Game Plus, we got it early, but now we have to craft the Sunwing override and go, and we can't do the special trick. We have to actually run up to a Sunwing, and try not to startle it, to learn how to fly for the first time, apparently.
Yes. Just slide up this mountain. So this is the way they expect you to go. We don't lure the Sunwing like we did earlier with like sounds, because you would have to fly the Sunwing back up here in order to activate the cutscene.
And incidentally, if you're wondering what happened to Steve and why we were running instead of taking him out, Steve died. The game kills your land mount when you take the boat to San Francisco. We don't know why. But it's very sad we don't have him anymore.
Yeah. So coming up here, we have a very, basically the strat that results in the most time loss. Essentially, you have to fly all the way to this tall neck over here, and then there's a way to jump off it and for you to land on the ground, and it's the exact distance that you need where it leaves you with like 1 HP left. If you fall in like a pothole, or if the ground's just slightly lower than you expected, it's...
Or if your name is Greedy Old Ka.
Yeah, or if your name's Greedy Old Ka. Then you can die a lot to this. I feel like I've gotten it to like about a 90% consistency, 95% consistency of actually having it working. But it is very risky because I will lose 2 minutes if I fail it. But I am gonna go for it here.
Yeah, if you die, you go back to where you fast traveled outside of the base to run up the mountain.
So we got to do some like sorts into. We got to do a slide and then like a melee attack in order to bypass the invisible wall here. Let's see how it goes. Let's go. Okay, we survived. Let's go. All right, so what that allows us to do is we can't call the Sunwing until this dialogue finishes, so this allows us to slide towards where we're gonna be eventually going, and now we can call Richard about right now.
And we hope he's very nice and does not land.
No, I ran into the branches, so that makes it a little bit tough.
So if the Sunwing lands, usually you can just get on him. It's slower, but it works. Here, if he doesn't pick you up and you climb onto him, he won't pick up this power cell that we need to progress. So that's good. And probably you actually can't get off him to solve the problem, and you're back to that 2-minute time loss.
Yeah. Okay, so coming up here now, we have only a few fights left, but they're major fights, all of them that need to be very precise and relies on good critical hits. So Regala coming up here, it's a 3-phase fight. We need to basically get 4 crit chances in a row. Don't remember what the chances of that happening, getting 4 80% chances in a row, but it most likely never is 4 in a row. So
It'll be fine.
yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
We have backups. Drink a stamina potion, or just shoot another shot and make sure we just don't die and or like miss our shots altogether.
Yes.
And it should be fine.
Yeah, so we are solving the rebellion right now by killing Regala, the leader, which is actually a really interesting character. Unlike the last game where like the leader of the opposition was undeniably like bad and evil. You hear Regala's reasoning. It's like, well, she's not wrong.
No crit. There you go, crit.
And so I don't
Crit.
know. It's
Nice.
so sad that she's definitely dead in this one.
No, I did not get the good crit, and I'm out of stamina, so please just...
Yeah, so the downside of having to aim for thighs in this, which is where she doesn't have armor, is sometimes you get between her legs because...
Okay, there we go.
Nice. The way
Barely scraped by with the last one there because I was losing the stamina, so I had to just rely, and I lost elite arrows, so I had to resolve back to the regular arrows. So I'm glad I scraped by there without 2 major time loss.
Yeah. The thing with
Cool.
the aiming in this game is there is a center point in the reticle, but technically the arrow could go anywhere inside the reticle. And very often the reticle is larger than your actual target. So it can mess with you sometimes. But now we're off to defeat the Zeniths.
Yes, if we want to do some final donations before we get to the end, we can do that right now.
Alrighty, while I have that moment here, I want to shout out the fact that since we have met the All Relic Ruins incentive, we have opened up our next incentive of the marathon. That is the bonus Joe Amon boss fight for the upcoming Yakuza run. If you're curious, Joe Amon is a regular in the Yakuza series, and he makes his first appearance in this first game. Big no-no, we'll show you how fast he gets his, I'm censoring here, butt kicked after the main Yakuza run if this is met. And I'm sure everyone will agree with me, Steve would want you to donate to that incentive.
Oh, he would. He would
Steve
love
would
you
want
to
you to.
donate to that incentive.
So please, when you're donating, go to the bottom of the page, select that bonus Joe Amon boss fight, and help us get there. We need a total of 10,000 raised for that, and we can do it together. We only have so much time, so please help us out there.
We can do it.
$25 donation helping us out here from Jay Wyndham that said, donating in memory of Varl's beard.
Thank you so much, J1. Appreciate it. Yeah, we always meme about Varl's beard because he looks so good in the tutorial, but then he shaves it. It's almost Varl's quote unquote dead now, but he kind of died when he shaved his beard anyways. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we're gonna fly here to this last checkpoint here, and then we're gonna do a tough shield wing clip to skip this whole thing. So essentially what's gonna happen is what normally happens is you go to this campfire and you call the companions and you go through, like, a cutscene takes you underground and you go land at the island, and then you go through a bunch of obstacles, basically, to get to the final bosses, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to do a clip through the shield. It's usually something that there's been a lot of alterations that have come through the years, but yeah, it's really hard, really precise, but it allows us to basically get a checkpoint early. There we go, discover that campfire, now I can go for this. We're gonna get a checkpoint early, but we gotta make sure we get it through this shield first. So let me focus for a minute here to try to get this. I'm gonna aim right here until we're about 300 meters away. I'm gonna jump at 300. And then at 325, I'm going to turn the camera and try to spawn him behind.
Yeah, so taking advantage of the fact that the Sunwing won't spawn
Not first
where
try.
you're looking.
Maybe second try?
But yeah,
Okay. Oh, we got it.
it worked.
Cool. Second try, that was really good. So there's a safe, consistent strat. Me doing it second, the safe, consistent strat, you go in the water for it, but me doing it second try right there saves me maybe 15 seconds over the safe, consistent strat, so really cool. But yeah, we're gonna go to basically this white bridge in the background, and we're gonna get this checkpoint. Then we're gonna fast travel back to the campfire and start the mission. Then we can restart from save, and it's automatically gonna update us to this checkpoint. All that together is going to save 3 minutes of us having to do a lot of stuff in the final mission.
Yeah, so this checkpoint is right after if you've played the game and you've ever let Regala live. This is where she then subsequently dies.
Right, and let's see if it worked. Moment of truth, it did work. We skipped half of the final mission. Let's go.
Low health.
Okay, so yes, I gotta enter low health here. I always forget for Eric for some reason. But yes, we have 2 fights left. 2 fights left. We're almost there.
Yes. So the cutscene we just skipped, we destroyed the Zenith's armor that made them invulnerable, which is why we didn't just kill Eric the first time we saw him. And I just talked over Die Machine Filth. I'm very sorry.
Die Machine Filth. All right, so Eric here, his weak point, for some reason, is the back of his neck. Nice, one shot.
You okay?
So yeah, you're supposed to take off his armor, but there's a pixel on the back of his neck that you can exploit and just one hit him and avoid any armor negation. So that's really cool. We're really glad I got that. 1 fight left now. This last fight has the most HP in the entire game, and we can't use frost arrows. We gotta use acid arrows instead because they're weak to acid. So it's gonna be the same strategy where we utilize our critical hits, our low health, aiming for precise weak points, but it's also gonna be just trying to get them under this acid status effect as soon as possible. So fingers crossed we can get this without having to craft any more ammo or stamina potions or anything like that.
Yeah.
Let's go up. There is one little skip here, pullcast skip thing where I land up here and then glide. Almost got it. We'll just take the stairs. Okay, this is it. Just like Aloy says, this is it. Final fight. More shots, acid, aim for the stomach. Ooh, not quite. Not quite.
Really? Come on.
Okay,
Hold
that's
up.
good. Nope. Okay. Gotta do a little backup strat.
Such a fun fight.
There we go, dead. Okay, only 10 seconds longer than what it should have. But yeah,
So-
once we get the cutscene here, that's time, okay? And time.
Time.
There we go. Ugh. It was a little bit of a scuffed run. RNG was not my favorite in a lot of places, but I did what I could with how the run went.
Yeah, this is still a great run. Still a
Yeah.
great time.
Yeah, that was a great run.
Thank you, thank you. But yes, we got the relic ruins that we got to move on to. So let's move on to that right away.
There's another battle ahead.
Yes, just skip out of this. We do incidentally save beta, as was referenced before, but no solution to the abandonment from Arl.
So moving on to the Relic Ruins incentive here. This is a category extension that was introduced like a year and a half ago. The Relic Ruins and the ornaments are the most abusable collectible in the game. It's whenever I do 100% runs of this game, I always look forward to the ornaments. They're just so abusable. They allow you're supposed to take do puzzles around, but every one of them you can just go to instantly. And I'll show you what it means, but we're gonna get the run started here right now. So run starts, basically I have an NG Plus file that I have all the locations already unlocked. And time starts when I go to the first fast travel point here. So, and yeah, I'm gonna be trying to focus hard here. Still explaining some stuff, but I'm gonna focus hard here because I think I have a really good chance of making a new world record here. So let's do it. Starting time in, well, actually, hold on, let me make sure. Yep, we're all good. Okay, starting time in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so there's 9 of these ornaments together. We're gonna do some sliding tech to get to this first one. But yeah, this first one, we can just do an extended shield jump right here to get this key.
I could find something.
And then we're gonna run over to the code that we input. All the codes are the same across, across new games. So do a little ledge vault there without grabbing the actual points, saves a few seconds. The code here will always be 1705. Thankfully, like, there's usually puzzles you have to go through to figure out what the code is. But yeah, thankfully, we can skip figuring that out. That was a very clean first Relic Ruin. Second one here, we're gonna have to restart from save to avoid some dialogue and be able to call our mount instantly. This one, we don't get to clip very often, especially above ground, but here is a cool clip where we use the mount to clip through, and then once he's through, we gotta figure out how to get us through. So we're gonna do our focus, turn left, and boom, there we are, we're inside.
Yes, finding this was the best thing.
Yes, it was.
Because before that, we just had to simply do the Relic Ruin, and it's not a short one.
Las Vegas.
It is not. This one, we just gotta get in here pretty quickly. There we go. You're supposed to like get this train car to come up on. Oop, come on.
Yeah, I actually have done this the intended way. It's a lot of pulling a train car.
Good.
It's not my favorite.
On to our fourth one. See how fast these are going? It's crazy. Like, casually, you would have already had to spend like 15 minutes getting those 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of things where we're just jump gliding instead of like, again, this would be pulling like a plane or something, I forget.
There we go. Fourth one was kind of my favorite just with how simple it is. That one is pretty easy to do casually if you want it. It's also my favorite festive one, Halloween. Which all of these are based off of like, you can bring them back to Las Vegas and put on a light show of basically a seasonal holiday that the old ones used to celebrate. There we go, that's Easter. We're gonna go over here. I have a new strat here where normally you take the Sunwing up to it, but instead I'm gonna try to just scale the building with a Polecaster. So right up here.
Oh, this is an interesting spot to spawn in.
Nice. Okay, so we gotta be very careful with where we fall here. So precision. Nice, we made it here. Now we gotta go around. Don't try to not make it into the water, which I did make it into the water. That's okay. That's only like 4 seconds lost. Now I better remember the code here. People make fun of me sometimes because I don't remember the codes all the time. But this one's 2109, 109.
Yep.
Nope, yep. Very good, very good. This is going very smoothly.
Ah, yes. So what holiday are you gonna pick, Bdud?
I'm going to pick one that appears on the first wheel, which, because it's fastest, but I'm thinking Christmas because that's what we just got done with.
Yeah, we just picked up New Year's, but it's not on the first face.
Yes, it is not. Christmas is it's on the first face, and it's the one holiday that we've just gotten through. This one's a little bit tough. You have to be very precise with when you activate the shield wing right here. Boom, yep, and then she kind of like magnets onto the ledge grab. Like that. That's Valentine's Day. Now move up here. We have 2 left. The last one will take the longest. Give me the fast travel, please. We're going to restart from save because, again, Ayla's going to yap, and we can't whistle when we yap. So we're going to restart from save, and that's going to cut off her dialogue, and we can spawn the Sun Wing. And he's going to, well, it's a Water Wing because this is, I have the DLC completed on this file.
So we get some soothing windshield wiper tones.
Okay, go over here. This one's gonna rely on an automatic system where you have to ledge grab. Nice, okay. Oh, she jumped really far there, but we're still good. We did not fall.
So, yeah, all of this is an effort to go back down under to what is now called Dune Hollow, which is where we found Poseidon, which is where the last one is, and then Stemmer, who's one of the original guys we talked to, is collecting these.
Mm-hmm. He's a really good wordsmith. I love him.
Stemmer's great. And so at the end of all of this, the end of the run is the reward for collecting all of these is actually quite a decent, or the legendary, what's it called? Shredder Gauntlet, which is, it's just a fun weapon. It was introduced here, but collecting that is when this run ends. But now we have one more door code.
And this one's all odd numbers. So yeah, we're gonna restart from save here. Yeah, you don't want, as long as you don't talk to Stimmer beforehand, the checkpoint upon you just getting this ornament puts you all the way back above ground. You're not allowed to fast travel from under there, so it's very cool that we can abuse that to save a good amount of time. And yeah, we just need to go up here, scale the building. This is my new way of going and scaling the building pretty fast. And yeah, that went really smoothly. We should be able to get sub 7 on this, which world record 7:37, so we're well ahead of world record. Time will end as soon as we open this chest here in about 20 seconds, probably. We're gonna go Christmas. See that Christmas light show. Oh, beautiful. Well, we didn't see it yet, but it is quite beautiful. And time. That is a new world record. Oh. Very, very good showcase of the Relic Runes. I'm really glad that I could show that. Thank you everyone for the donations to get that run up here. Really happy. But yeah, that's really great. Really, really great. Thank you everyone for watching this. I have been waiting 3 years to show off Horizon, to show off the main run, to be able to show off Ultra Hard and Relic Ruins in addition to everything, to just showing off Horizon in general. It's been a dream of mine for the past 3 years, ever since I started running Horizon. I'm glad that I could do Elk justice by showing Ultra Hard here. I want to shout out a little bit of the community. So first off, just Greedy Old Call, thank you so much, Greedy, for pushing me to go for world records, for trading off world records between these games, and just trying to push me to my best, and also for being just one of the best community members around. Shout out to Elk for just being very dedicated to our community and being one of the best mods here, being very professional with the leaderboards and just keeping everything very clean. In addition to that, thanks to the mods, Dorian and Elk, to trying to run marathons and bingo for the year. And to the entire Horizon community, I love you guys so much. You guys mean so much to me. You guys are there every day, and you all love Horizon. We all love Horizon, and I'm glad that I can share speed running and these grinds with you guys. So thank you so, so much.